How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Sector 6, and today we're going to be jumping into Chapter 3 of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We're going to be doing the breakdown thing, so buckle in, hit the like button, subscribe for future content, but we're just going to jump straight into it. You've seen the first two videos, you should know how this works by now. If you've not seen the first two videos, go and give them a watch, because, you know, there's stuff to talk about. But anyway, let's crack on. So in the previous chapter, we finished up by crossing the swamp, and we found ourselves at the entrance to the Mithril Mines. And as the gang enter the Mithril Mines, Cloud pauses for a moment, and Red 13 wonders if Cloud can sense Sephiroth's presence, like, is he here? Cloud's not sure, but he definitely feels something as he walks into the Mithril Mines, and we do find out that there's definitely monsters ahead. Pretty tough ones, apparently, and a pretty amusing thread that runs through the chapter starts here. First, Barrett asks Cloud to take the lead, as he's used to dealing with monsters like these. It was pretty much his day job as a soldier, right? Right, Cloud? Right, Cloud? Anyway, Cloud agrees, for 2,000 gil, which is a throwback to the bombing missions in Midgar when Barrett was hiring Cloud to help out Avalanche do the things that they were trying to do. But then Aerith sweeps in with an absolute stunner of a line, saying, that's enough for her standard course twice. And if you don't know what that's referring to, again, this is something that goes down in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and this is where Cloud gets the hand massage from Madame M, and the absolute state that Cloud ends up in afterwards. Love it. Absolutely love it. Cloud then has a little bit of an awkward moment between Aerith and Tifa, again, because, you know, he's a shy boy. He's a very shy boy, and let's be honest, we all paid for the luxury course. No one did the standard course. We all did the luxury course. Come on. Come on. But Cloud then's just like, focus, everybody, yes, we've got things to do, let's go. And we press on into the Mithril Mines. Now this is just another one of many, many great moments between the characters in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It's one of the things that I think the devs pulled off the best, in my opinion. Like, the relationships are fun, the banter between the characters, it's just entertaining. Like, we get some more Red 13 and Barrett banter going on throughout this chapter. It's just good. I mean, I even like Chadley and Mai. I found Chadley and Mai's whole thing pretty entertaining throughout the whole game. I still don't trust Chadley as far as I could throw him, but he's fun. He's fun. He's a crazy little psycho. Anyway, that's stuff that we're going to get into in later chapters. We'll leave Chadley and Mai alone for now, and we'll carry on with the Mithril Mines. We learn about how this mine used to be active. It used to be the only source of mithril in the world. But the value of mithril has diminished because Shinra have begun churning out far stronger and more durable alloys, which essentially killed the need to mine mithril. And this is just another indication of the way Shinra have kind of taken away from the communities and kind of stripped opportunities away from people where they would have previously had them. Like, people could have mined these caves and made money out of it, but now that's gone because Shinra have kind of swept in. And it's just continuing to build that picture of Shinra being the problem. In every aspect of the world, Shinra is the problem. We catch up with some Black Cloaks eventually, probably what Cloud sensed as we entered the mine, and a few of them end up falling into a deep pit when the ground beneath them collapses. Now, Cloud being Cloud in Rebirth kind of shrugs it off like, fuck them. But Tifa is pretty concerned for them, with Barrett offering to go and check up on them and make sure that they're okay. So Barrett takes Red 13 with him because Red's a climby, jumpy boy, and, you know, that's going to be useful. And Tifa and Aerith probably don't really know what's going to be going on down in the mines, so they stick with Cloud while Barrett and Red go down into the depths. Now we continue on into the mines with Cloud, Tifa and Aerith, and we push and we pull and we climb and we jump and we kill, but eventually we hear some voices up ahead, and we discover that it's Rude and new Turk's recruit, Alina. Now, they discuss Reno and the fact that he's on a bit of a forced vacation after the events of Remake, and this mirrors some really sad real-life events where the Japanese voice actor for Reno, Keiji Fujiwara, passed away just before recording for Rebirth began, and this left the team with little time to recast the character, as well as little desire to recast the character, obviously still feeling the loss of Fujiwara. So instead, what they did was they repurposed recordings from Remake for Reno in order to allow Fujiwara to voice Reno as intended for Rebirth. Now, as far as I understand, for Part 3 they are going to recast Reno, and he'll end up having a bigger part than he did in Remake, but due to these sad events, Reno's pretty absent for the bulk of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and, it's obviously tragic. It is obviously a tragic thing. Elena goes on to talk about how their mission, to follow the hooded figures, is a waste of time. But Rude kind of just says, just shut up, don't think. Just do. Just do the job. This is what we're paid to do. Do the job. Rude and Elena continue talking, and eventually this kind of triggers Tifa a little bit, and she's just like, assholes, as this goes on under her breath. And Elena hears it, obviously, which reveals the group and leads to a big fight against Rude and Elena. Which is fine, we can handle him, but Jesus Christ, Tifa, be chill. Be chill. Anyway, we beat Rude and Elena up, and after we do handle them, Barrett and Red turn up at the same time. And it finally starts to look like we're about to get some Sector 7 revenge, it really does. But then Sung shows up and ruins the party. And it's like he shoots a black cloak in the distance just for impact, just to be like, yeah, I'll do it. I will. See, I did it to him, I'll do it to you. So Sung kind of sweeps in and saves the day. Sung also turns things back around on Barrett in this moment, saying that, if he wants someone to blame for Sector 7, then perhaps he should look in the mirror. And while this isn't true, it also is true. It was Avalanche's actions that kind of forced Shinra's hand. And maybe Shinra were always going to do something like this, but Avalanche made it Sector 7. Avalanche's presence in Sector 7 was what made Sector 7 the target. So there is some truth to it, but also at the same time, all of this stuff only really happens because Shinra are very, very naughty. So, I think we can always kind of take it back to Shinra. I think the root cause of most of this is Shinra, so yeah, I'm not buying this, he's wrong. Fuck you, Sung. Anyway, Sung lets us know that while we're still wanted, we aren't their priority right now, Rude, and that if we stay out of their way, they'll stay out of ours. Elena then throws this grenade that she's been holding for a minute or two to cover their escape, and despite Red 13's best efforts, we end up falling back down into the depths of the mine. Now the team gets split up again, with Barrett and Red falling a little bit deeper than the others, and this is the time when we get to spend some time with Red 13 and Barrett now. And we do get some nice fun moments between the two of them, a little bit of banter here and there, and we also get some discussion about the possibility that the Black Cloaks seem to be following Sephiroth. Or at least that's what Cloud seems to think. That's kind of the conversation that goes on, and you can tell that there's a little bit of doubt in Cloud here. It's not a massive amount, and people are still willing to, go along with him and be with him and support him. But they're definitely not 100% about Cloud at the moment. Not that he's going to do anything dodgy, but that he can't keep it together. I think that's the concern. We learn that Hojo's lab was filled with people like this, with Red 13 having seen a lot of them in his time there, which isn't surprising. Eventually though, after much climbing and fighting and smashing and fighting and climbing and smashing, we catch up with the group. And also, we need to have a quick chat about this, how does this work? I don't understand the physics behind this. How does this work? How does Barrett do this? Answers on a postcard, because I haven't got a clue. But anyway, yeah, we catch up with the group. There's a bridge, but it's all jammed up, with Cloud and the ladies needing Barrett's help, with him quoting 2,000 gil back to Cloud. Banter. After clearing the way for the gang, we continue on with Barrett and Red until we reach a sealed gate, which Aerith will open up for us, and Barrett gives it the old thanks, owe you one, and Aerith's like, yep, $2 grand, bitch. And it just brings me so much joy. These moments, they're so good. I love these guys. Anyway, after we get through the gate, Barrett and Red fight a mithril golem as the final hurdle in the mines, and then, once we defeat it, everyone's back together at the exit. The gang talk about what went down with the Turks a little bit, worrying that there may be Turks or more Shinra forces waiting outside, but Barrett's kind of like, I just don't care. He's kind of at the point now where he's not going to stop for anyone after what went down in Midgar. Sung kind of throwing that back in his face, that no, it was your fault, mate. I think that kind of galvanizes Barrett a little bit, and because obviously he's going to be like, oh, no, it definitely was not our fault. It was definitely you guys. So, yeah. Barrett's ready. Barrett's ready for war at this point, and yeah, like he says, ain't no getting off of this train. There ain't no getting off of this train. But that's it as we head out of the cave and into the Junon area. One final thing kind of happens as it's kind of on the cusp of Chapter 3, Chapter 4, and we see a group of Black Cloaks outside. Probably the ones that we were pursuing through the mines. And weirdly, they're all kind of lined up as if they're waiting for us. And it's odd. But then out of nowhere, the Condor kind of appears and swoops up one of the Black Cloaks before flying off into the distance. And this is also, I feel, pretty weird. Why is the Condor snatching a Black Cloak up? Is he doing it to eat? You gonna play with it? Is he bored? Like, what's going on there? Because I get the feeling that a Genova-infected person is not part of a balanced diet for a Condor. I mean, I may be wrong. Any Condor experts out there that may know whether or not a Condor can eat Genova-infected people and, you know, thrive because of that? Is there something good? Is it trying to get some Genova-y goodness? I don't know. Has it ate one before and thought, this one tastes different. I like it. I like it. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with that. That's weird. Any ideas? Any ideas? Also, why are the Black Cloaks just stood here waiting anyway? I think it's very weird the way that they just kind of stood there waiting for Cloud, and then once Cloud and the party leave, they start moving. It's almost as if rather than us following the Black Cloaks and chasing them, it's almost like the Black Cloaks are escorting us. They're showing us the way, and they know that they're showing us the way. It's almost as if their presence at the reunion is minor in comparison to Cloud's presence at the reunion. That's what it's feeling like to me. Like, always in the previous games, it was a case of we were moving through the world and we were following the trail of Black Cloaks, but it didn't feel like we were being guided, whereas this definitely makes me feel like we're being guided and shown the way and shepherded, essentially, by these Black Cloaks. That's what it feels like a little bit to me. But yeah, that is the end of Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is a super quick chapter. There's not a massive amount that goes on there. We get the establishment of Elena as the new member of the Turks. We find out that Rude's obviously still doing his thing. We find out that Sung and the Turks are pretty much going to ignore us now, and they're also following the Black Cloaks and chasing the trail of Sephiroth. Yeah, not a massive amount. I mean, we find out about local industry, like the Mithril mines being shut down, and it's very... it puts me in mind of like the coal mines in the UK closing down and things like that. The government just decided to shut them all down and privatise them and all that sort of business. And it gives me similar sort of vibes that this is shown to us in order to make us think Shinra bad more than we already do. And, you know, it works. It contributes to Shinra being bad. But anyway, that's going to be the end of this one. Quick chapter, like I say. I almost tagged it onto the end of the previous video. But, like, no, we'll do a chapter a video. That's how we're doing it. One video, one chapter. And the next one is going to be Chapter 4. And Chapter 4 is a pretty beefy chapter. So give me a little bit of time to work on this. There might be a couple of videos in between this video and Chapter 4, just so that I can keep content going. But believe me, I am working on it. Chapter 4 coming soon. But thank you very much for chilling with me. It's been a pleasure, as always. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for future content, but more importantly than all of that, have a great day.